today we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for beginners in Rainbow Six Siege. And these tips are going to vary, whether it's to help you get some better performance, or it's going to show you what kind of angles to hold and what not to hold, or I'm going to show you change to make your game run better. I'm going to be trying to fly through these as fast as I can, so if you need to, go back in the video, feel free to do so. Tip number one, we're going to go ahead and head over to options. We're going to scroll down just a little bit. You're going to see drone after prep, and then it's going to be on automatic. You're going to want to throw that on manual. What this does is it makes you get off of your drone right as the prep phase is over, and sometimes you might still be trying to hide your drone or find one of their ops, and it knocks you off and you don't want to get off yet. To change that, you're going to go ahead and head over to manual, and it makes it where after prep phase is over, you're allowed to stay on your drone and you can exit whenever you please. Tip number two, we're going to go ahead and head over to HUD, and we're going to go to HUD presets. It's going to be on custom, and then we're going to go ahead and head over to compass appearance. You're going to want to turn that on simplified. What this does, it kind of cleans up the compass a little bit. There's not too much on your screen. It just allows your visuals to be a little better. Now, you can change any of this. I haven't really messed with it. I just put my compass appearance on simplified and left it at that, but you can do whatever you want, change whatever you want. That's all preference, but I would definitely recommend changing it to simplified. Next thing we're going to want to do is head over to audio. We're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit, and we're going to look for dynamic range. Here, it's going to be originally set to hi-fi. What hi-fi does, it makes all gunshots and explosions and stuff like that really loud, and we don't really want that. So we're going to go ahead and turn that over to night mode. What that does is it kind of quiets down gunshots and explosions and stuff like that, and it makes footsteps a lot easier to pick apart and allows you to use sound cues to your advantage. 100%, I'm going to get this out of the way. Do not run windowed. It's very bad for FPS. It's going to make your game probably laggy a little bit. It's overall really bad. And I know a lot of you are going to want to run borderless because it's easy access, especially if you have two monitors like me, and it's going to make it really easy to get from monitor to monitor. It doesn't close your siege whenever you want to go to your other monitor, but I have found a lot of problems with this, and some of them include just like lagging. It makes my stream lag whenever I stream, which I stream almost every day at twitch.tv/VisionAKBiz. Make sure you go check it out. Borderless, it's easy access to your computer, but I just don't think it's worth it because it does tank your FPS a little bit. So what I would recommend doing, just leave it on full screen and leave it at that. Next tip I'm going to go ahead and go over is VSync. You do not want VSync on. VSync is going to destroy your frames. It's good if you have screen tearing, which I doubt you're gonna have screen tearing in a game like Siege, but if you are having screen tearing, turn it on, feel free. But if there's nothing wrong with your screen, turn it off now. It's going to destroy your frames and it's going to make it super delayed. Make sure that's off and you should be good. Now we're going to go ahead and look at FPS limit. FPS limit, you're usually going to want this off, and if you're someone like me who has a 240 hertz monitor or anything above 144, you want it off 100% because max you can actually cap it to is 144. And if we have a 240 hertz monitor and we're capping our FPS at 144, we're missing out on 96 frames, which is pretty crucial when you get to high tier Siege. So I'd recommend turning that off. And if you are running a 60, 75 or 144 hertz monitor, go ahead and cap it because there's no point in pushing your computer to something that's not even going to help you. So yeah, I'd recommend off. Next thing we're going to be looking at is field of view. Most pros have theirs on 90. I myself like 90. I like to be able to see everything around me super clearly. Some people like to say 84 or 83 is better, and it's a lot of that's preference. I would recommend 90. The only reason I say that is because it's important to have quick reaction time and able to see all things around you. Say you're holding an angle and somebody comes from the right side of you. If your field of view is too low, you're not going to see them. But if you have it really wide at 90, then you might be able to see them and hopefully save the round. Next tip we're going to be going over is HUD display area. The reason I would say HUD display area at 80 is because whenever you have it at, any higher, it kind of blocks things in front of you. I get that might sound a little weird because you would think 80 is more in your face. And one, it makes it a lot easier to check your HUD, whatever's on your HUD, whether it be the score, your ammo, literally anything on the HUD. But if you have it really high, you have to look to every corner of your screen, see kind of what's going on. And it can also block a lot of stuff. So say somebody comes from above you on a second floor, but you can't see them because your scoreboard is covering it. It kind of throws off your game and it's going to mess you up a lot. So I would recommend 80. Next thing we're going to be looking at is NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. Now, a lot of people use this, a lot of people don't, but if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, which most people do, you're going to want to go ahead and turn that from off all the way to on plus boost. Some people say that on plus boost can throw you off a little bit and on is better. I personally use on plus boost and I haven't seen any problems yet. Feel free to try them both and see which one works for you. you, but it just helps a ton with frames, so I would recommend turning that on. All right, next tip is we're gonna look at a couple of these graphics quality settings. Texture quality, you're gonna want it on low. Texture filtering, linear. LOD quality, ultra. The reason you're gonna want it on ultra is because if you have it any lower, it just makes it really hard to pick out and see little things moving, and you want that to be as sharp as you can, because seeing those little things can make the entire difference of whether you win around or not. Shading quality, low. Shadow quality, you're gonna want on medium or higher. At least medium. Do not have it, no matter what you do, have it on low. The reason I say that is because say somebody is walking, if you have it on low, you're not going to see their shadow at all. So say somebody's coming from a doorway and you would usually see their shadow, and they're walking up, you won't be able to see anything. But if you have shadows on medium or higher, you're gonna be able to see their shadow on the wall. Yeah, I'd recommend at least medium, maybe higher, it's up to you. Next thing is reflection quality, just leave it on low. VFX quality, low. Ambient occlusion, I'd leave it at SSBC. I haven't really messed with any of that. You can troubleshoot that, or you can just leave it on SSBC. I haven't seen any problems with it. And then everything else, you just don't mess with. Just leave it how it is. There's no point in messing with any of this. Anything under ambient occlusion, just leave it how it is. Next tip is recommending 1600 DPI. Some pros run 400, some pros run 800, but the reason I say run 1600 is because if you're running 1600, it makes it a lot smoother. If you want slow sensitivity, then just go on 1600 DPI and make it super slow. Because if you're on 400, 800, it doesn't use all of your pulling rate. It's a little choppy and not as smooth, but if you're on 1600 DPI, that's whenever it starts to use the max pulling rate, which makes it super smooth. So if you want a slow sense, 1600 DPI, make it low. If you want a fast sense, 1600 DPI, make it a little higher. I personally run 1600 28, and yeah, it's perfect for me as of right now. Next tip I'm going to recommend, this is 100% preference. This is just what I like. If you want your sensitivity to be at a 1:1 scale, then go ahead and copy these settings right here. A 1:1 scale basically means if you're hip firing and you're not ADS'd in a sense, 1:1 ratio means your ADS sensitivity is going to be the exact same as your non-ADS sensitivity. It makes it a lot more consistent, allows you to get used to it a lot faster. Pause that if you need, but without further ado, let's get on to the next tip. Next thing I'm going to recommend is gadget deployment advanced. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but the important one here is drone deployment. The reason I say put that at advanced is because if you throw a drone and somebody sees you throw your drone, they're gonna react to you throwing your drone, and then they're gonna swing you. While you're on your drone, you can't do anything about it. But if you throw it, wait for them to come, because they think you're on your drone, and you shoot them, you catch them off guard because they thought you were on your drone, then that's a free kill. But say you throw your drone and it makes you go on the phone, and then you get swung, there's nothing you can do about that. It allows you to be a lot more precise with how you do things, and it allows you to think a lot more strategically. For the next step, we're gonna head over to accessibility, and we're gonna look at OptiColor. And the reason I want to talk about this today is because a lot of people just use the base red, but little do you know, a lot of the maps have a red kind of filter over it, and it's super darkish and reddish in a way. So me personally, I like green. It's just preference, but I would recommend using some sort of hint of green or a pink or something, or maybe even a white if you wanted. And it allows you to be a lot more precise. It allows your crosshair to stand out, and allows you to have so much better aim. It changed my aim a ton. For me personally, it helped change my aim an absolute ton, and I think it's definitely worth it. Next tip, we're gonna go ahead and look at screen shake intensity. It's gonna be set to default. You don't want that. The reason I say that is because say you're Ash and you shoot an Ash charge and it blows up right there, and your screen is shaking, and then there's somebody right behind the window, and you can't really and you can't aim at them precisely because your screen is shaking like you were just in a category 5 earthquake, and you can't do anything about it, and then you're dead. But if you turn it off like me, then you shoot your Ash charge, they're right there, you can react quickly, and because your screen isn't shaking whatsoever, boom, free kill right there. If I would recommend any of these settings at all, I would 100% recommend this one right here. Next thing we're gonna be talking about is team colors, and me personally, I have my team color on orange. You can have that on orange or red, it's perfectly preference, but opposing team color, you're gonna want it at blue. The reason I say that, like I said earlier with the OptiColor conversation, all the maps kind of have like a red hint over it and a red filter or whatever, and if their colors are blue, it's gonna stand out a lot more. So say they have a hidden drone, you're gonna be able to see it pretty quickly. Say they have a claymore, you're gonna see the blue line really quickly, and it just allows all their colors to stand out a ton. And like I said, your team color, orange or red, that's preference. Just make sure opposing team color is blue. The next thing we're gonna be talking about is don't main an operator. The reason I say don't main an operator is because if you pick one operator and you always using Dokkaebi, and imagine it gets banned or somebody else picks it, and then you have to pick an op that you don't know how to use because all you use is Dokkaebi, it's going to be really hard and to get the grasp of at least that time. So that's why early on you should take the time to kind of play everybody, have some fun with it. Don't stress over your operator too much, and just learn them and have some fun with it. Don't stress about maining. That's just silly. Have some fun with the operators, expand your knowledge a little bit, explore the different operators, and just have fun. So the next step we're going to be going over is with Mozzie, and I personally love Mozzie, and I learned this as of recently from another YouTuber. I don't remember his name, but so if you shoot a little hole in the wall and you pull out your little drone catcher and you shoot it in the floor, then it makes it like impossible to shoot. So say like they're coming and they're shooting, like they don't see where it is, and they can't shoot it. So it's bound to get a drone. So yeah, I personally love this strat. I think it helps with catching drones, and it throws people off guard a lot. Next step that we're going to be going over has something to do with peeking. So I know I see this a lot in a lot of beginner players. They tend to kind of just walk around or sprint around without even aiming, and they peek with their body. So like say they think somebody's right here, they'll do this. They'll kind of look. And what you want to do here is, because if you do this, you can be shot from here, you can be shot from here, you can be shot from here, or you can be shot from here. So something I learned is you don't want to stop aiming with your body. You want to check every kind of corner that you can. So we're gonna check right here, and then we're gonna be open to here. So we're gonna go out a little bit. We're gonna check this door, make sure there's nobody here, and then we're gonna check this, make sure there's nobody there. And then we're kind of surveying. We're going as much as we can. And look, the reason I came over here, over to this wall right here while checking this side, is because although this is clear, it being clear can change in the next 5 seconds. Somebody could walk through that door. So I come over here, I check everything, and then same thing. I move forward, but while checking everything, because information changes. It lasts about maybe 5 seconds. So you want to check this, and then you want to check this, and that's how you clear rooms. It's literally perfect. It makes it where you can't be caught off guard. It makes it where you can't be surprised, and it just allows you to win more gunfights, and it allows you to play smarter. Next I'm going over is also with peeking. So same room, right? Actually, we'll do it right here. So say I'm holding a peek. Although I may be aiming at them, and I only be able to see a little of them, and maybe I won't see them and they'll shoot me. The reason that is because when you're close up like this, they can see you a lot. They can see like your entire right side of your body. It may not be that for you, but they can see the entire right side of your body. But if you were to back up a little bit and hold that same angle, they would see like none of you, because you're not pushed up against something. So if you back up and you kind of have some space, and you're not like limited, and you're holding a pixel like this, it'll be the opposite for you. You'll be able to see them way before they see you, because you're backed up and you have space and you're not pushed up against something. So yeah, that's a tip that's helped me a lot. Hopefully it helps you as well. So now I'm going over some peaks. Instead of playing super pushy, kills matter, right? But you don't want to stress over your KD. There's just no point. Like your KD's important, right? It kind of shows you, your gunfight skill in a sense. Sometimes, not all the time. It kind of shows you, it represents you, right? But a lot of people in this game, they just worry about it. Right as they get under 1.0, they start stressing, and they're like, oh, I'm under 1.0, like I'm so bad at this game. Like there's no point in stressing over that. You just gotta play the game, play it for the win, not for the kills. The kills matter, but the win is really what you're searching for. Now going over the peak, you want to hold more pixel peaks. Pixel peaks are super important because it makes it really hard for people to kind of flank you or catch you off guard, and it allows you to kind of get the jump on them. So say I came over here, kind of like what we said earlier. This is a pixel peak. Say I'm backed up, I'm holding my pixel, and we have somebody on flank watch right here, or we have somebody watching this, so I don't get shot from behind, and I'm holding the pixel. And if I'm just being patient here and we're playing time, then there's nothing, we literally win if we play this right. Unless they're spoit or something, they're not gonna pre-fire that, unlikely. And you have this angle, they come right there, you shoot them, they come right there and you shoot them, you win. It's perfect. Play time, stop worrying about your KD. It's gonna throw you off. Play smarter. One of the best things that's helped me improve in this game is crosshair placement. So for instance, say this is barricaded. Perfect head level, and I mean perfect head level. If you aim at the second buckle right here, that's head level. Aim right here and you're gonna be at their head. Now you may have to adjust if they're crouching or something. But if you're aiming head level, you're gonna win most of your gunfights. Crosshair placement, just practice that. Like if you're in a custom and you're in a 1v1 or something and you're waiting for them to come, just practice aiming at the buckles and just aiming around, and sooner or later it's just gonna become second nature to you. It's gonna help you in the long run, and I would definitely recommend practicing your crosshair placement. Another tip that has helped me an absolute ton is aiming and staying a lot more calm. So a lot of people, especially beginners, a lot of even intermediate players struggle with this. So what I mean about calm aim and staying calm is a lot of people will kind of, when they're pushing, they're scoping in a lot, and then they're like being really shaky. They're gripping their mouse way too hard, so it makes them shaky, and you just kind of, and they're just like, it makes their aim horrible. It makes them too spazzy. But instead, calm aim is, you kind of just, or like I said, it kind of related to crosshair placement. Keep it head level. There's no point in doing all this. That's just, it's gonna lose you more fights in game. And you kind of just want to play calm aim. Don't be scared to lower your sensitivity. You don't have to be like the pros with like absolute fast sensitivity. Like, look, you don't have to be doing this. It's useless. It looks flashy, but it's really not going to help you in the long run. So stay calm. Don't grip your mouse way too hard. You want to keep a calm grip, and just stay calm when you're fighting. Don't let the pressure get to you. Next I'm going over is, don't be afraid to shoot more. Like I just said, like, play calm, play chill, but like you don't have to be like doing this and doing way too much, but don't be afraid to shoot. Like, for all you know, there's somebody right here. You shoot it, you might get a free kill. Don't be afraid to put on pressure on the attackers whenever they're pushing you in. Even if you're an attacker, if say I'm pushing in, say I'm an attacker, say I'm pushing in. If you want to be silent, you can be silent, but say like there's a chance that they're here, you can kind of do this. You can go here. Maybe they're right there, and then, you know, don't be afraid to pre-fire. Pre-fires are so huge in this game. You know, just shoot a little bit more, but don't be spazzy with it. You wanna think strategically. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna shoot here. Oh, I'm gonna shoot here. Think like, oh, what if somebody's right there? Somebody might be sitting right there. Let me shoot. And then think about the consequences if you were to do that. Say you were to shoot over here and then they walked right here. So think about that beforehand. Come over here, do this, and then you can check over here, and then you're gonna be ready for it. So just enjoy the game. Take these all with a grain of salt. Try your best in every game. Play to your full potential. Don't slack off, and just have fun, dude. This game is so fun, and it's so overlooked for how creative and fun it can be. Just enjoy it. And I stream every day on twitch.tv/vision8kviz. Most of the time it's Rainbow Six Siege. Sometimes it's other things. Sometimes it's other games. Feel free to come check me out. Drop a follow, and let's just have fun together. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, and make sure you like the video if you did enjoy, or if this helped you at all. And if you have any more beginner friends that started the game as of recently, send them this video. Maybe it'll help them too. Peace.